AI is changing what's possible in advertising. Okay, so you're running ads for hundreds of store locations, maybe thousands, and you're running the same creative with the same channel allocation, maybe with slight differences, but mostly the same. And you know, if you could localize your ads in a more effective way, you could make 10 times more, but you simply don't have the resources. Today, Google's finding in this scenario, up to 41% of ad spend is going to waste. And if you're a multi-location retailer running the same creative across hundreds of stores with just campaign level budgets, that number is potentially higher. You just can't see it. So today, I'm gonna break down exactly why the standard approach to multi-location advertising is fundamentally broken, and what the brands that are winning are doing differently, and the specific combination of technology that's making hyperlocal advertising possible at scale for the first time. And I have all the data to show you to back up these claims. I'm Noel here, CEO and founder of Connected. We build data-driven precision audience targeting for brands using offline and online purchase data along with tens of thousands of behavioral signals. But most importantly, we know what people actually buy in the real world, and we use that to make digital advertising dramatically more effective. What I'm about to walk you through is supported by overwhelming evidence. Section 1, the landscape. Why this matters right now. So here's the landscape. More than 80% of all retail transactions still happen in physical stores. That's not a rounding error. That's overwhelmingly the majority of commerce still happening offline. Well, at the same time, near me searches on Google grew 16% between 2022 and 2023, on top of 200% growth that Google already reported between 2016 and 2018. Consumers are actively searching for local businesses, local products, local solutions more than ever before. And here's the number that should stop you in your tracks. 78% of location-based mobile searches result in a purchase. Compare that to the 2 to 3% conversion rate of your average display or social campaign. So on one side, you got massive waste, and on the other side, you've got massive intent. Nearly 8 out of 10 local searches turn into real money. And the gap between those two things is precision, or more accurately, the lack of it. Section 2, the problem. Why multi-location advertising is broken today. Let me paint the picture because I see this constantly. You're a national retailer, you got 300 stores, you're running digital campaigns across search, social, maybe some programmatic using display or CTV. Here's what your setup actually looks like. You've got one budget spread across all 300 locations or 300 line items that you're trying to manage. That means your budget allocation needs to be preset, it cannot be dynamic. Your best performers could be getting starved while your worst performers are overfed. And you literally cannot see this happening because your team is overwhelmed with simply trying to deliver 300 line items across multiple channels. That's like paying the same salary to your top performer and the person who's been working from home but is actually sitting at the beach. Same budget, very different output. Then on top of that, your creative is static. The ad someone sees 3 blocks from your flagship location looks identical to one that someone sees 50 kilometers from your smallest store. Same product shot, same generic shop now, no mention of their neighborhood, no nearest location, nothing that signals this ad would be built specifically for them. And here's what happens. They scroll past, 30 minutes later, your competitors show up, it references their area, it features the store closest to them, and the offer feels local. They click, they visit, they buy. This is happening thousands of times a day. And the final piece, you're running all these channels, search, social, possibly CTV, display, audio, all on different platforms with different budgets and different reporting. You have a zero unified view of what's actually driving foot traffic to any individual store, and you're now optimizing in silos for an outcome that happens across channels. Multi-location retail advertising also suffers from something almost nobody talks about: geo-targeting overlaps. So multiple stores overlapping geo, bidding on the same audience, competing against themselves, driving up their costs. You're literally outbidding yourself. Both stores bidding on the same impression. Section 3, the solution. What hyperlocal actually can look like. Now here's where it gets interesting, because what I'm describing isn't hypothetical, this is live. It exists. The brands using it are seeing results that should make everyone feel uncomfortable. Let me break down the 4 layers. Layer 1, budget control per location. Every store gets its own budget based on its revenue potential and its competitive landscape and its actual performance data. Your store gets fueled properly, your underperformance get right-sized, and you can see the performance of every single location independently. Layer 2, dynamic creative per neighborhood. The ad someone sees is built based on where they actually live, it references their area, and it features the store closest to them. The data on this is not ambiguous. Brands using dynamic creative optimization are seeing 30 to 50% higher click-through rates and up to 2 times improvement on return on ad spend compared to static ads. Localized video ads drive 53% higher purchase intent compared to 13% for national-only ads. That's a 4x difference. And 63% of consumers say they trust brands more when the content feels localized. Trust, not just clicks, trust. Layer 3, offline purchase data. This is the part that most miss. You're not just targeting by geography, you're layering in data about what people are actually buying within specific areas. Not just what they browse, not just what they click on, but who are the buyers both online and in-store. It changes the strategy entirely because now you're not guessing. You're matching and stealing market share from your competitors who are unaware of the difference. Now you get to understand not only your sales, but sales in your category within the neighborhood to allocate budget based on where the opportunities are. Imagine a scenario where your store is underperforming, but you know there's massive amounts of sales happening around it. You then know where the sales are for the taking, and you can do something about it. 82% of advertisers are already using some form of dynamic creative, but almost none are combining it with neighborhood-level geo-targeting and relevant signals. That combination is a massive unlock. Layer 4, unified channel optimization. So, you've got multiple channels you're running at the same time. Search, social, connected TV, online video, display, audio, native, and possibly more. All optimized from one place. This is where AI can help you allocate the budget per channel, per location, across hundreds, potentially thousands of retail locations. You can shift budgets between search and CTV in real time based on what's actually driving sales and what your reach and frequency should look like. No more duct taping 6 dashboards together and calling it a strategy. The AI optimization layer that makes this work at scale across hundreds or thousands of locations with creative adapting per neighborhood and budget shifting per store. That would be impossible to do manually. Combination of offline and online data with hyperlocal AI optimization is here today and ready to go in 2026. Section 4, the proof. Show me the money. Look, I know first of its kind is the most overused phrase in marketing right now, so I'm just gonna give you the numbers. Standard CTR sits around 0.9% across all channels, and location-based audience targeting is roughly 8 times higher. A window and door company moved from broad TV buying to hyperlocal CTV targeting based on specific zip codes across multiple metros, and their unique conversion rate went from 0.08% to 0.45%. That's more than 5 times in increased efficiency. A grocery chain that used hyperlocal messaging aligned with local inventory saw a 38% recall rate and 10% increase in brand familiarity. Krispy Kreme ran a localized campaign and achieved a 72% reduction in cost per acquisition. 72%! And broadly, brands adopting this hyperlocal approach are seeing 38% higher click-through rates and on average 34% more store visits. So these aren't just projections, these are results. Section 5, spicy take, bold opportunity. Right now, only 26% of marketers consider hyperlocal advertising a top priority. That's not competition, that's a window. The first movers in this space are going to build an advantage, and late adopters will spend years trying to close. 72% of consumers already visit stores within 5 miles of their search location. And over 63% of mobile users have location-based access enabled on their devices. The infrastructure, the data, the consumer behavior are all there. The only thing missing for most brands is the willingness to stop doing what's comfortable and start doing what actually works. So let me leave you with a couple of things. The combination of neighborhood-level targeting, dynamic creative, offline purchase data, online behaviors, and a unified cross-channel optimization solution is not incremental improvement, it is an entire categorical shift. The benchmarks prove it. The window for the first mover advantage is open. 74% of the market hasn't prioritized this yet, but that's not gonna last. So, if you found this useful, subscribe and hit the bell, because I'm gonna continue sharing how AI is changing what's possible in advertising. And I'll see you in the next one.